Footballers Sunday Live.
What's up, everybody? How we doing today? Week 3. Or, for those who celebrate, Jordan Mason and Ken Bone Walker week, everybody. Let's get pumped! I'm pretty excited about those guys for this week. But thank you so much for joining me this fine Sunday morning, afternoon, I guess, for those weirdos over there on the East Coast. Welcome in. We're going to tilt our faces off. We're going to talk through some news, talk through some of your start-sit questions if you've never joined us before, the way that this show works. I really just laid it out, so I'm going to double talk here. But at the beginning, we're going to go through some of the news, and there is some hot and heavy news per my paper over here. Then thefantasyfootballers.com. That's our home base. That's where the rankings are. That's where you can find anything related to our show, which includes a start-sit tool that you animals out there, you use it a lot. I was going to say voraciously, but I don't think that's a real word. Jason Moore is in. Jay, is that good enough? Does that sound like a real word?
That is a guaranteed real word.
Yeah, see.
I guarantee it.
So that's why I had to pause. It's like, this has got to be a word, right? But the rankings are all there. You can put in the 2 players, and we'll give you some of the variables that are going on with that matchup. We'll let you know which side that we lean on who to start, and then we jump into your questions. Papa Josh is on the 1s and 2s today, collecting that information. Oh,
absolutely.
Doesn't know how to push a button. Classic Josh. Here we go.
The big picture.
All right. Ooh, I'm showing Brock Purdy's listed as questionable. I thought that was like a full. He's already out. Is he? I thought we had seen that.
I thought I saw him out as well. Regardless, he's not going to. Even if he's active, he's not starting.
Right. So he is questionable. Mac Jones will be starting for the 49ers. At the running back position, DeAndre Swift is expected to play. My unofficial stash of the week would be Kyle Monangai. Of DeAndre Swift, I think, has been disappointing in the eyes of Ben Johnson, and a dude who was questionable kind of all week with, I think it's a hammy. I can't recall off the top of my head, but if he's going to play, that might be a situation that I would want to put a backup onto my bench there. Zach Charbonnet, he is listed as doubtful. Because what's going on in the world today where Christian McCaffrey, healthy as an ox, while Brock Purdy, Kittle, and we'll get to it, but Juwan Jennings is not going to play for the 49ers. And then for Seattle, Charbs, he's the one who got hurt. And Ken Walker remains the standing back for Seattle. At the wide receiver position, Jason, how does this one make you feel? Xavier Legette is out.
Oh, man, he already was. He was out when he was active. I mean, he sucks.
Man, you have turned on that. He's just a fun-loving guy. Maybe
I love the dude away from the field. He's not good at playing wide receiver.
It seems to be that is the case. Xavier Worthy will remain out for the Kansas City Chiefs. Chris Godwin, another week. I've seen some optimism for week 4. What we were told originally for Godwin was week 5 was the initial target. JSN was added to the injury report yesterday with an illness. He's expected to play. I am, for those asking, JSN, I'm playing him as I normally would. I mentioned that Juwan Jennings is not expected to play. Now a big one, Emeka Egbuka. This week has been strange for Egbuka of like, hey, we didn't see him in the media portion of practice, but we're told he's going to practice. Turns out he did not practice that day. He's missed multiple practices this week. Then we heard, he is good to go. Then we have our 2 dads, Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter, with conflicting reports of the status for Emeka Egbuka. One says his snaps will be monitored. One says he will be a full go. I'm sure we will be talking about Emeka Egbuka later because people want to know.
One said potentially monitored. It was a real hedge.
Yeah,
They could do that.
It's still at least when like I said, the 2 media fathers of the NFL, when they post something like that, it freaks us out. Like when they posted stuff about Tucker Kraft this week, who went from
He did not go on IR.
it's not a season-ending injury to, oh, he's going to play this week. And my answers, honestly, for Tucker Kraft, maybe he pops up. But the way that I'm handling that is if you, like maybe Ferguson, Juwan Johnson, that level of a streaming option, a guy you could have gotten later. But other than that, I'm still, like I have Kraft in my top 3 still. He's a dog. He'll play through. Tyler Warren will play. Isaiah Likely is out one more week. Evan Ingram is out. And, Big Montana's out. That's not really news for anyone but us. But I like it. Hey, Josh, has the computer gathered the necessary information?
Yeah, let me give it a kick real quick.
Okay. That's what we do with the computers.
He's so hot right now.
So like I said, thefantasyfootballers.com, that's where our rankings are, which those will be monitored and, scoured to make sure we have them where we want them up to the kickoff period. But we use that free start sit tool, and we take a look at who are the Foot Clan concerned about, which players are hot and like hotly debated about, should I start them or should I start another player? You can go check that out. If you want to be a kind, beautiful supporter of this podcast, you could turn that start sit tool into a 4-player start sit tool, or use the ultimate dashboard, get an extra podcast every week, use all the other tools that we use to help us form our opinions for this show. That will be at footclan.com if you want to go and check out the offerings there. But if you want to use the start sit tool, the free version, that is great as well. All right, Josh, who's hot right now?
Well, Emeka is causing chaos today, so we're going to have a few of
I
these
would
for
imagine.
people. So the first one is Emeka or Jameson Williams.
Okay. Ooh. So, and I guess I'll start my, because Ibuka's the absolute hot topic. Ibuka is strange because he, for fantasy purposes, wide receiver 14 through 2 weeks, because his first week was super bloated because of 2 touchdowns, and then week 2 was saved by a touchdown. So that, like, this is, of course, I'm not taking those things away from him, but just saying the yardage, the totals of receptions through 2 weeks, it's not to a place where it's like, I gotta get this guy in there. 3 touchdowns is very intriguing. These guys are real close in my rankings. When you go and you take a look at the totals of the week, we have one game remaining sitting in the 50s. That Ravens-Detroit Lions game sitting at just a sweet 53.5. The implied team total for the Lions is 24.5. I want pieces of that game, so I would swing for Jameson Williams in that matchup over a potentially monitored snap situation for Ibuka. All right, who's next?
All right, we've got Emeka Ibuka versus George Pickens.
Interesting. So that's the other game that I want. Man, people are really okay. I get it. The Cowboys Bears game. That's the other big total. So we got the Ravens Lions 53.5, Cowboys Bears 49.5, and then it drops to 45 as the next highest total. So those 2 matchups, really, we want exposure to both of those matchups. There's going to be a lot of points. Of course, that doesn't guarantee that your guy gets the points, but it's a game of probability here, people. We want in on that action. We want in on those shootouts. The Cowboys, Bears, I'm surprised that the line is there. I'd put it a little bit higher, honestly, because I think that both of these defenses stink right now. Both of the offenses can get it done. I would go with George. It hasn't been smooth sailing yet for George Pickens as a Dallas Cowboy. He got the late touchdown last week, but that's the way I would go. I want that volume. All right, who's next?
All right, we've got Emeka versus the Joe Burrow-less T. Higgins.
Okay. Let me see where I got T. Man, right in that pocket, right in the same rankings pocket as JMO, as Emeka Ibuka. I would play T. If I had T. Higgins, I would play an unrestricted player who is a great wide receiver. When you go down to the level of T. Higgins, you're not putting in just a player who's not as talented. You're not like, hey, I'm going to put in Dontavian Wicks or Romeo Dobbs ahead of Ibuka. T. Higgins is a great wide receiver. I know that the quarterback situation stinks, but compared to, we don't have Burrow anymore. I'd play T. Higgins. So, oh goodness gracious. It's always fun for me when the questions about one player go completely the other direction, so everything is riding against him. But here we are. Is that it? Is there more Ibuka?
No, we'll move to the running backs now. I know.
Gracious, merciful man. Goodness.
This one caught me off guard, man. So we've got Bill Krosky or Omarion Hampton.
Oh. Okay. So Bill Krosky gets to play the Las Vegas Raiders, and Hampton will be taking on the Denver Broncos. So both are in tougher matchups. I said it on the show that I would like to see 1 week of Bill Krosky. What is it with the new situation of Jeremy Sticky McNichols being the pass-catching running back and then Chris Rodriguez? I know he's a healthy scratch, but it's still in the back of my head when they're talking about Rodriguez would be a goal line running back. Rodriguez is a thicker boy. Now, if you saw Bill show up to the field, the drip was immaculate. So, I mean, that is some bonus points, of course, that we need to factor in. How does an athlete show up when he's dressed? I think I'd play Bill. I think I would play Bill over Hampton. That is, they are literally back-to-back in my rankings, so I don't have a stronger take other than I'll just stick with my rankings on that one.
All right, we're moving on to James Conner or J.K. Dobbins.
So Dobbins has been fantastic. He is truly the workhorse running back on the ground, at least for the Denver Broncos. Conner has been really disappointing. I think not necessarily me watching James Conner saying I'm disappointed in what he's putting on tape, but they said, there was whispers of that the timeshare would be larger than we were expecting, and honestly, it is. The matchup with the 49ers, I know the 49ers are down a bunch of players, but so are the Arizona Cardinals. If anything, this turns into, in my opinion, like one of those just gross, you didn't see not gross, sorry, the wrong word, but like a more high scoring than I would expect, but through the air. So between Conner and Dobbins, man, I think I'd stick with Dobbins. I think I'd stay in that direction. Just to stay with. He's got two strong legs right now, and you got to play him while he's got two strong legs. All right, who's next?
All right, last one for the running backs here: David Montgomery or Nick Chubb.
All right, Monty gets Baltimore. I said we want pieces of that game, and then Nicholas Chubb. I don't know if you are all as chronically online as we are in the studio for our job, but there was some conspiracy theory going around on Nick Chubb's touchdown. Did the defense allow Nick Chubb to score? The situation says no when it was 2nd and 9 and all these things. You can go check it out. But the effort on the field
says yes.
The effort on the field sure looked like they were like, oh no, you scored. Now, Dameon Pierce is inactive again. Another unofficial stat. Well, this could be an official stat because he was my backup option this week. Woody Marks needs to be on your bench if you are looking for running back help. That is a situation that could start to flip sooner than later. Pierce back-to-back healthy scratches that's notable. Jason, I don't think Caleb Johnson got healthy scratched, by the way.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, the Steelers are going to run 4 running backs.
What could go wrong?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just amazing. He is Caleb Johnson is on everyone's waivers now. So if you want,
hey, pick him up.
Unofficial stash.
I lost track, Josh. What was the question?
We're moving.
Did I answer the question?
I think you did.
Oh no,
yeah.
no, it was Chubb. It was Chubb or somebody.
Oh, it was Monty or Chubb.
Monty or Chubb. Okay. I want access to the Lions, and I want like Montgomery. I know Montgomery's still fine right now.
All right, let's move to the tight ends and see if this holds true because we got Sam Laporta or Travis Kelce.
Oh, the faces for Travis Kelce, everybody. Give me Sam Laporta. Give me access to that Lions game. The Sunday night game, I am super excited for it. The Kansas City Chiefs versus the New York Giants. There's only one reason why the nation is excited. It's because the Chiefs are 0-2. If the Chiefs were 2-0 and the Giants were 0-2, this game would stink. But exciting stuff. 0-2. Could the Chiefs go 0-3? Can it happen? Giants left tackle is back. I'm gonna go. Honestly, if you just need a safe floor of points, then I'm cool going Travis Kelce. But if you got to throw a haymaker, then Laporta still feels pretty safe with much higher upside potential than Travis Kelce at this point.
All right, sticking with the tight ends, we've got Tucker Kraft or Jawan Johnson.
So I have this exact decision that I'm making in our League of Shadows, as we call it. Right now, I'm just rolling with Tucker Kraft. Clearly, Wolverine blood in his body. You know, most other guys would have had season-ending injury or season-ending surgery, but not Tucker Kraft. And I'm just watching him warm up. I think we're okay. We're okay here. I do not blame anyone at all for pivoting and going with Jawan. The potential for Tucker Kraft to go out there on snap number 2 and be running and feel the injury in his knee, that remains a possibility. But Kraft's ceiling is just, as much as I love Jawan Johnson, Tucker Kraft is a dog who can give you, 80-plus yards and a touchdown on any given week. So I'm going to risk the injury and stay with Tucker Kraft.
All right, let's move to the quarterbacks here. We've got Bo Nix or Matt Stafford.
So Bo Nix takes on the Chargers. I think we'll find some stuff out about the Chargers because they seem like a very scary defense right now. It is in LA. Stafford?
Yeah, man.
This is
people
what
are
the people wanna
struggling.
know?
Yeah, they are.
I'm not starting Matt Stafford on the road against the Philadelphia Eagles. Like, I can say all the great things about the Chargers defense I want. I'm not doing that. I'm not putting Stafford in. No.
All right, well, let's make it a little more difficult for
Okay.
you then. We've got Indiana Jones or
No.
Bo Nix.
All right. Daniel Jones also, I think we get to find out. I feel like week 3 here, we get to see like Daniel Jones and Javonte Williams, like these two guys that we're all hesitant to actually fully believe in, even though they've given us 2 really strong weeks. Week 3, that's when we start to be like, okay, maybe I have to change my official opinion and stance and not just, dip my toes in of Daniel Jones as a streamer. If I had Jones, I have Bo Nix in the league of record. If I had Daniel Jones, I'd play him against the Tennessee Titans on the road. That one, that was going to be fun to watch.
All right, that's it. The people need you, Mike.
All right, to the people.
Stardom, set 'em.
All right, Jacob, out the gate, Travis Etienne or Jordan Mason in a PPR. Normally you would say, hey, PPR, we're going to go to Travis Etienne, but Jordan Mason's gotten a couple targets here and there. I am interested to see how workhorse do they actually use Jordan Mason, because those are not my words. That's head coach Kevin O'Connell talking about Jordan Mason that way. Now, does it just end up that it's like mostly Mason, and then Cam Akers is still, recent addition to the Minnesota Vikings, who's been on the team multiple times. He just kind of goes in and out, it seems. Does he step into more of the pass-catching role, since that's never really been Jordan Mason's thing? But Mason with a lot of work against the Cincinnati Bengals. That's what we signed up for. So, I mean, this is the moment we've been waiting for. Not that long. We got to week 3 for the moment, but the moment is here, and we got to seize it. Jason P. says, Aaron Rodgers or Matt Stafford? Again, I'm not playing Matt Stafford. Not that I'm excited for Rodgers, but Rodgers gets to play the New England Patriots, who, if you've been paying attention, their defense has been a bit of a PU, and Christian Gonzalez does remain out. So those who have DK Metcalf, or as I saw, our website is DK Mike Calf. Like, we made this.
Someone did that. I have no idea who put that in there.
We're all trying to.
We're all trying to figure out who has access to that nickname, Doc. It was me.
So DK Metcalf is like he feels much safer now that we don't have to worry about Gonzalez, which is also an upgrade for Aaron Rodgers. So I'm look, just probability-wise, I am staying away from Matt Stafford on the road against the Philadelphia Eagles. No, thank you. I don't think we're going to want to play any quarterback against the Eagles when all is said and done. I am Tone Montana. We got Ibuka or Ricky Pearsall. I'm going Pearsall. You can make the argument of no one is left for the Arizona Cardinals to guard, so they can just focus on Pearsall. Go the other side of Pearsall is all that's left, so they have to throw him the ball over and over and over, which Mac Jones has been known to do.
Also, no one is left in the Cardinals' secondary and defense. So there's no one to guard anyone that's on the field.
Exactly. So I'm going with Pearsall in that one. I'm going to stick with my start of the week. Let's see here. We got C Design says Pacheco or Higgins in a half-point PPR. Pacheco is on my bench until I get new information that we need to start taking Pacheco serious for fantasy football. I'm not dropping Pacheco, but if he turns in one more stink, people are going to be asking us that this week, should I drop Isaiah Pacheco? This one says Nick Chubb or Tyrone Tracy. That one's going to be an easy Nick Chubb. If you saw we got some, puff piece. We got Cam Scattaboo. More snaps. Try to tell you that Tyrone Tracy was a wasted draft pick because Cam Scatterboom is about to take over. Let's see. Jake says JSN or Ibuka. That's JSN, sir. I know we're excited for Ibuka, but what JSN is doing right now is just absolutely dominant. Certified, Mike Evans or Keenan Allen. Mike Evans has been disappointing on a production side. Usage, peripherals are all still great. Keenan Allen probably safer for a little bit of the floor, but if I have the two of those guys, I'm not starting Keenan Allen over Mike Evans. Not yet. These lulls happen for Mike Evans, and if they're going to get him to 1,000, they got to start juicing up this yardage. They don't want to save it all for the end again. Let's see. Next question. Dak or Bo Nix? This is from YouTube. Dak or Bo Nix today? That is Dak, my friend. Bo Nix is like just outside of my top 12, while Dak is someone I am very, very excited to play. Time check. We're good for a few more questions. Just a reminder, thefantasyfootballers.com. All the rankings are there. If I don't talk about the player you want me to talk about, sorry, there's a lot of guys, and there is limited time. So, Jeremy's chiming in saying, because JSN's expected to play in the afternoon. I got you. Okay, that makes it if you're trying to do a safety thing, but everything we're hearing about JSN is that he's going to play. He's got a little tummy ache or something. I don't know. He's fine. Next question. Trying to find a good one here. Oh, a trade question. Trade Ashton Genty for Chase Brown. Probably. I should not field trade questions. Those are much harder to think about when I'm trying to be rapid here. Jaylen Warren or Tony Pollard, it's a standard. That's from Ashley. I would go with Jalen Warren, my start of the week. Tomlin bringing up Trey Sermon. What's this all about? Tomlin, you need to calm down. Daniel says Jalen Warren or Marvin Harrison. Personally, I have that decision in my league of record team, and Marv is on my bench currently until, I don't know, probably forever. Oh, I'm just sad about that. Hunter, Jameson Williams, or Ibuka. I think I answered that, but that one's still Jameson Williams. Oh, yes, disgusting. Andrews or Troutman. Yes, this is where we are with Mark Andrews.
My starting tight end. I picked him up this morning, baby.
Adam Troutman?
No, come on. Mark Andrews. Likely's out. You want pieces of that 52.5 point over under.
Yeah. I agree. I saw a Debo or Pickens. I would be playing Pickens there. All right, we're right up against the clock. Let's get out of here with this one. Thatcher says Pickens or Metcalf in a full PPR. That is, that's a toughie. I think in that one, because of the full PPR, I'll go DK Metcalf on that one with not a super high amount of confidence, but if that's how I'd play it if I had the two
Sounds
players.
like Mike Calf to me.
Yeah. That's going to do it, everyone. Wish you nothing but the best for this week 3 and your enemies nothing but goose eggs. Remember to keep it beautiful, and I'll see you tomorrow. Mwah! Bye-bye.